90.3 WHPC. You're listening to FM Punk on the voice of Nassau Community College. I'm your host, Riley, and we've got a very special guest today. I've got Joe from Urne with me. How you doing today, Joe?
Yeah, mate, I'm good. I've been power napping because today's the opening game of the NFL season, and it starts late here, as you can imagine. So I've just been getting my body configurated to try and stay up late, and then I'm up early to go into London. So I'll probably be having a bad time tomorrow. But for now, I'm pretty. I've got the adrenaline, I've got the nerves, I've got the excitement running through me. So yeah, I'm all good.
I didn't know people outside the U.S. cared about American football like that.
It's growing, man. It's certainly growing. That and the basketball's growing, but I think the NFL, American football, and it's really, really growing because there's a lot of people like me who grew up as fans of our football, soccer, and it's just not the game it used to be, and it's just been ruined. So the last 6-7 years, mate, I get more excited each year because you have such a long gap. Unlike soccer over here, it's like 3 months. You have like a long gap with the NFL, and I'm like, oh God. And now this week it feels like bloody Christmas. Like all my mates texting, I've just literally got a message now. It's just like an hour away, and I'm like, yeah. So yeah, it's definitely picking up massively in Europe.
That gives me an interesting question. So who do you root for then? Because obviously over here in America, most people just root for whoever the home team is, you know?
LA Chargers, Justin Herbert. Like, I'm a Chargers fan, basically. So I've kind of lived a life of just misery, really. You know.
It could be worse, to be honest. I mean, you could be a Cleveland Browns fan.
It's funny, like there's teams like when you just say their names, you're just like, yeah, like the Texans. It's just like rubbish, innit? You know, like it's the first ever game I saw in the flesh was Chargers versus Texans. So, but yeah, I'm excited for tonight, mate. I am very excited.
Yeah.
So, and I get some press. I've been doing a few interviews to get me through the night. So it's all good.
All convenient timing, you know? Yeah, that's funny. My family's all from Ireland and South America, and I've got an uncle by marriage who's from Poland. So they're all into soccer. They, you know, you get all of them in a room and it's just hours and hours. And definitely a lot of stories about hooliganism, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, man. There's things that take away from what football could be and what sport should be over here. And I mean, I'm a big boxing guy, but going to the event, any event, be it a big hall show, small hall show, a stadium show, arena show, I always seem to be stuck with a couple of proper idiots, and yeah, it just ruins the vibe. And we seem to have that ability over here to ruin sports by how some of the fans act, sadly.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but you know, for me, in a way, it's almost like fight stories from shows. Like, you don't want it to happen. You don't want a fight to happen in the pit, but when it does, you go and tell all your friends, guys, I just had the craziest night, you know?
Yeah. It could be, but of course, probably one punch was thrown, but a month down the line, there was 10 people. It picked up. You know what I mean? You know how it kind of gets, the story adds up and it ramps up.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And I'm from Long Island, New York, and there's I don't know, there's something in the water here. People like to go crazy. It's like the band could be like my friends in Koya, literally like Taking Back Sunday looking ass, like emo music, but you know, the one riff that sounds kind of heavy and people are like jumping like off the stage, bombing each other, like, you know, throwing like crazy spin kicks. You know, they'll do it to anything here, man, you know?
Yeah. I can imagine. Oh, okay. So New York based. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's where we went over to do our album. We went to Brooklyn to do our album.
Nice. Who'd you do your record with, if you don't mind me asking?
We did it with Joe from Gojira.
That is really, really cool. Gojira is one of the greatest bands ever. So.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, so that's we went over last November and did the second album with him. So, and we just went out and did some shows with Gojira in Europe, and they are literally the best live band. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. I actually do have a funny story. it was the first time I saw Gojira, I want to say. I think I was like 19 or so. They were doing a show in Brooklyn with Converge as the opener, which, crazy lineup. And I missed like the first couple of songs from Converge because like the venue had like this like airport level like metal detector or whatever, right? And it held me up a bit. I was mad and I went like directly to the pit. It was dark in there. I couldn't see what I was doing. I was just like swinging like nobody's business. And then after the set, I was like, kind of need to go use the bathroom. And I go to the bathroom. When I go to wash my hands, I pull them up and it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen The Man Who Knew Too Much, but it's like the scene where he sees the blood on his hands. And I'm just like, oh, that's not mine. I think I just ruined somebody's night and just like didn't even realize it.
You horrible person.
Yeah, I know.
How dare you?
There was I can already see there's probably like a Facebook rant about me like the next day that I'm unaware of.
Yeah. My daughter went to her first concert last night, and look what some beast did to her. No,
Yeah.
I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they survived.
Oh yeah, they probably survived. They would have shut down the show instantly if it was like a serious injury. If the person like collapsed or whatever. Like
Well, yeah. I'd hope they would shut it down, but you see in some places they try and carry on. Sadly.
Yeah, I did go to one crazy show in Connecticut. It was at like it was in like this really small like DIY spot, and it was the last show there. And before they were shutting the spot down, they had like 20 bands playing. It was like an all-day thing, and I swear to God, like people, like every other set, like somebody got like knocked out, and they just like carried the poor guy out and just kept going.
It's like a World War One film. It's just like, right, he's getting taken out there, legs have gone in, right, another person goes in. I try. I went to see a show last night. I've got some friends friends with Matt from Trivium, and I went to see them last night, and I think it was probably the hottest I've ever been in my life. So that was a shock to the system.
Yeah.
And the venue was on a beach, so you'd think, it'd be a nice breeze. It was so hot. I could not handle it.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's crazy. Because like I know it gets hot on stage already.
Yeah. This was different. I couldn't. It was sickening. Like, yeah, it was really hot.
Oh man, that sounds like hell in a very literal sense. But
yeah, and I had jeans on, so
that's another thing I always wonder about, right? Like you see so many bands, right? Like I went to see a few weeks ago Lamb of God and the Acacia Strain, and Vincent Bennett's on stage in like a windbreaker or something, and I'm just like, how? It's August in New Jersey.
No way.
Yeah,
I see bands doing that, and I'm like, there's no way you're having a good time under there.
Yeah. I had a friend, I went to see his band, and he said something funny. He was wearing like a hoodie of his dad's band, and then he's like halfway through his set, he's like, man, I'm taking this off. Like you see all these videos of people playing in hoodies and it looks cool, but it's too hot, man. I can't do this.
Yeah. No, I mean, we recently played Portugal, and it was hot as hell. And I was like, lads, I'm gonna have to wear. I've got pretty white legs as well, so it was bad because the rest of me was kind of burnt / tanned. I was like, lads, I'm gonna have to wear my shorts. And the photos, Jesus Christ, you're kind of looking, and all of a sudden, what are they? And it's just like milk bottles hanging out of my shorts. It wasn't a good look.
Oh man, it just gets so hot at some of these shows, man. They need to start investing in AC. I mean, I guess if like you're playing outdoors, it can't really be helped. But if you're playing an indoor venue, can we invest in some AC maybe?
Just a little bit would be nice. Just like ice baths. Just have a little ice bath.
Yeah.
Pay an extra £10, you get a little ice bath. That's what I need.
Yeah.
I have a great time. I'll be sat in my ice bath watching a show. I'll be fine. They can bring you up beers. Yeah, lovely. That is it. That's what I need. I'm going to get a venue, and I'm going to go, right.
Yeah.
Forget the VIP section. Get the bloody ice bath section going.
Yeah. If we had that here in New York, we'd have to make sure that the bathtub is nailed down real good, because lest some people start throwing it at each other, because we would.
Yeah. I feel like that's a wise choice. Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, this is funny. I can't imagine chilling in the tub watching a show.
I'll
But
be having a great time, just a little bit, and you go, and they come around with beers. Like, do you want a beer? Yeah, whack it on. There's a little table. You whack it. You tap your card. Lovely, thank you very much. Whatever, $20 probably for flipping beer, whatever. Yeah, thank you very much. Just carry on watching the show, and then you probably get like mugged off by the band. They go, oh, that's for the ice bath section, and
yeah.
all 10 of us are like, yeah, and everyone starts throwing. Yeah, that's it, man.
Hey, at least you can kind of like duck under the water to avoid the
Yeah.
flying objects once they start flying, as long as they
Yeah,
don't land in the tub.
yeah. I feel like that would probably be a thing that would happen. But yeah, so I'll think about that. But if I see that idea pop up anywhere, I'll be livid because I've given it away.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Next time I go to like a gig in New York, and I'm like, "What's that section up there? What's that? Is that for the VIP? That's not for the VIP, mate. Well, what is it? It's the ice bar section. Fucking ice bar. Someone's had me. Someone's had me idea. So,
Yeah, you're gonna have to trademark that idea.
yeah.
So
And I work in a law firm, so I'll get it done tomorrow. I'll
yeah.
pattern that.
It's funny. I had a buddy of mine who's also in who's also in a band. He used to just be in like touring bands, but then eventually, obviously, he's like, didn't make him the money he needed. He's still in bands. He got a new band that's really cool called Bend the Knee, and we were talking on the show a few weeks ago, like, because his day job is he sells insurance, and
Okay.
he used to have a show at the station too, and I remember one time I went on it and we were making fun of this dude that showed up in like a 3-piece suit and tie to a Nails show, and obviously, the suit was like torn to shreds by the end of the night, because it's Nails. People are like ripping each other apart, and we were like making fun of him, just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go get punched in the face at a hardcore show. I'm gonna go sell stocks later. And then when I had my buddy on, we were musing about the irony that now he's the guy with the square job going to shows at night.
Yeah, trying to blend in. I've had to do it, mate. I go from work, looking all dapper in my suit, but I always make sure I don't go nowhere near the middle or the front. I'll be at the back so I can dash off before the last song, and then I'm fine.
For sure. So kind of focusing on topic a little bit. What can you tell me about the new record?
The new record, it's out. It's gonna be out. It's almost a month old now. But yeah, we recorded it in Brooklyn, Silvercord Studio, with Joe from Gojira, which was an amazing experience, as you probably imagine, for a small British band at the time, having the opportunity to go and record with someone that they look up to. Pretty excited. We got it mastered by Ted Jansen, who mastered Hotel California, Bob Marley, Exodus, and tons more mental records. So it's all been pretty surreal for us. But it's good. I think I don't want to blow too much smoke up my ass because my mates would tell me off for not being humble. But I think it's a really good record. It's called A Feast on Sorrow, and it's a pretty personal record to me personally. It's about illness with two of my relatives, very very close, immediate, like one of my parents, and I'm really proud of it, and I think it's going to grow. I think it's going to be a grower, and but the response so far has been amazing.
For sure, and everybody's saying be humble, but don't be afraid to sell your record, man. If it's great, if it's sick, and you're proud of it, like just say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's funny because like our now manager, my friend was like, I think you should manage these guys, and I reached out of an email, and I'll get to the point. And he went to my friend, nah, it's not for me, and he was like, well, you should meet them, and then he met us at a festival, and he was like, I get it now, they're English, and he was just like, they can't, because our manager's from Switzerland. He was just like, so the email was just like, hi, I'm Joe from a band, and like we've got a new album coming out, and to be fair, mate, it's probably and I was like, well, I think we're kind of good, but we're probably not. So yeah, just delete this email. And he was like, what is that? Just English? That's just like, whatever. But he was just like, I love it. I get it now. I just get that's what they're like. And but yeah, no, I'm really proud of the record. And like I say, it's you kind of get the initial bang when an album comes out and it's everywhere. Then we need to, like people like yourself and all different shows and word of mouth. You know, you've got to keep it growing. And I think the next year will be really interesting for us.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it sounds like it's already getting interesting because, like, I remember, like, I was on the phone with Munzie and, you know, he said you guys needed, you know, to reschedule from the original time. He's like, yeah, they're playing the show with Trivium. I'm like, yeah, I mean, no, I get it. Like, dude, screw my silly college radio show. If I was in a band and I got offered to play with Trivium, you know, how is that even a question? Of course the answer is yes, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how we've had some things like this year, to be fair, like I said, we went out with Gojira for 7 shows, and them 7 shows, I'm like, cool, let's get on a 6-week tour in Europe with them, because that would change our lives, because 7 shows alone were pretty insane. And but for us, it would be amazing if we can somehow, when they next do the States, which, you know, they've just finished doing the States, so I feel like it'd be another year and a half, if we could go out with something like that in America, like a real big tour. That would be amazing for a band like us.
For sure, yeah. And, you know, a lot of bands, you know, when they get over in America, it's like, you're over. You know what I'm saying? Like, Train has got so much fuel in the tank, you know?
Yeah, and I think the thing is, I really don't want to go over there and just do like a smaller, like, kind of club show, because that would financially wouldn't work for us. I want to go over there, and I want it to be, I know it's easy for me to say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to fucking tour Metallica every day, but it's not going to happen. But I would want to go out there with something like a Baroness, a Mastodon, or, you know, Gojira, really get on a tour where I know there's going to be a couple of thousand people a night, instead of kind of doing a smaller kind of club tour, because I just don't think that would benefit us at all.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And, you know, it's definitely, especially, you know, early on when you do tours in small clubs, and, you know, I can say definitely in America, it's, you know, at first you don't see the returns quite yet. You know, it's not until things start to sell out that you start to see what you want to see, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. Fingers crossed, though. It's all far away, so let's see.
Yeah, that's the other thing, the travel cost and the travel time as well, you know. You've got, well, like a 10-hour flight already just to get over onto the continent.
Yeah, totally. I mean, what's cool for me, I've got quite a few friends in bands over there, and it'd be cool, you know, I'll be buzzing, you know, I've got good pals in Kill Switch, Trivium, and all that remains, and it'd be cool to go over there and be like, lads, do you want to come out and watch me instead of the other way around? And so yeah, I've got some good friends in the States anyway, and I've got friends over there who aren't band people, and yeah, so it'd be fun. There's a lot of people I want to connect with and I haven't seen for ages.
For sure. If you guys come over here, I'm definitely there.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you. Absolutely.
All right.
I want to do New York. I can't imagine.
Oh yeah, New York crowds are completely insane. Lunatics run the asylum here.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, like growing up watching like old Slayer videos coming to New York, or obviously Anthrax being a New York-based band, and watching them shows, I'm like, old bootlegs, and I'm like, yeah, sick. Old Overkill shows, and yeah, mate, I'm up for it.
For sure. I gotta wrap things up a little bit. You guys got anything coming up you want to talk about, and you want to plug the record one more time?
Well, I wish we had something coming up that it was in America, but we're doing some stuff in Europe and UK. You know, we're starting to announce festivals for next year. But yeah, if you we're a band, Urne, with an E. It's the European spelling. It's spelt a lot of places, but obviously to the English speaking, we've just added an E on the end. But we're Urne, and the album's A Feast on Sorrow, and you know, it'd be amazing if you go and give it a listen, because I think it's a really good album, and I'm still trying to be humble.
Yeah, like I said, I'm half Irish, I'm half Uruguayan from South America, and I'm American. Humble is not in my vocabulary.
Well, yeah, I'm half an Irishman, so you know, we have a connection. But I'm not half South American, so definitely not. I'm too pale, too white and ginger.
Yeah, I'm pretty pale for someone who's half South American. So
yeah, I feel the pain.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me, pal. And yeah, and remember that switch next time.
I will. So we'll have actually more time. All right. All right.
Sweet. Look after yourself, pal.
For sure. Thank you. All right. This has been FM Punk. I'm your host, Riley. This was Joe from Urne, and we're going to get back into some music on 90.3 WHPC.